Wow, what a great turnout. Feel honoured. Just like to welcome everybody here today. My name's Clifford Toomey. I'm a proud Gomeroi man. I was born in Weewar. I grew up in Narrabri, so this is my area. I'm also the Aboriginal Education Officer at Weewar Public School and the chairperson of our local Aboriginal Lands Council. I just like to welcome everybody here today on Gomeroi country. I'd like to pay my respects to my elders, both past and present, of the Gomeroi Nation, and extend that respect to other Aboriginal people present today. And last but not least, I'd like to acknowledge the youth who are and will be our future.
Yama, how you going, everyone? Ah, that's good. Good to get some time out of school, eh? Nah. Nah, that's good. Learn some cultural stuff. But yeah, I'd like to thank Robin, Keith and Cliff and people in the community for asking us to come down, and we've been doing some dancing with the kids at the public school, is it Cliff? Weewar Public? Yeah, so this dance that we're going to be doing is a cleansing dance. It's cleansing the earth and the ground what we're dancing on. And yeah, the kids only learned this one yesterday, but do you think they'd be doing it for a couple of months the way that they dance? Yeah. Smoking, and Gamilaroi way with the smoking is using gum leaves, and just for ceremonial stuff, for dancing or clearing grounds. We use iron bark and just send them off with the burning, but mainly just gum leaves, and it's like the cleansing dance.
I grew up here on Tulladunna at the age of 10. My family name is Murray. When is my married name? No Tulladunna back to front.
I'd just like to say that in 1966, when the cotton season first began here, a lot of our Aboriginal people started coming from the western areas and northwest areas, southwest, over here to Weewar for the chipping.
Oh, they were good memories, you know. It was just that growing up down there, being segregated, and you know, certain places where we could go and limited, you know, places. But otherwise, it was a good time down there for us, you know, because we had all the old people. They were, you know, alive back then, and most of them are all gone now. And we are the survivors of what happened down in Tulladunna. And
but I think in the end, like my sister said the other day, it was a simple life, a good life, but also a hard one too. The tents, being all pushed into these square tents, trenches around them when it rained. You always had no bedding, or you had to all huddle together, and hand-me-down clothes. So if you thought, oh yeah, my sister's got a nice shirt, you know you was going to end up with it, with your next in line. But it just amazes you to even go out and sit.
And here we see the cultural significance and the spiritual significance of Tulladunna to Aboriginal people, not only in Weewar but right across the whole area.
Any of you children ever been to the Gold Coast and been to Dreamworld? That's what it was like for us coming here. It was a dream, because we come from something harder, because we came from where there was no benefits, no handouts. We had to work.
I can say it's not only local Aboriginal people who lived on Tulladunna. There was people from Collarinabri, Gadooga, Brewarrina, Lightning Ridge. They all came here for, just to name a few of them, because there was a lot to, who lived here. They came for the chipping season, so where they ended up was Tulladunna. And went to work from here. Our family used to live where you come in under the bridge, and the sign there's got Murray's. It's a big gum tree. There's 12 of us in our family, and we lived in a tent with dirt floors, no brooms. Used the tree to rake around our campsite, and to me it was fond memories living on Tulladunna. We was free, it was open, we knew all the families who lived down here. One of the things that I do remember is how much us kids all got on with one another on this campsite. And it's also good to see all kids here today, to see how proud we are of our country. So, life on Tulladunna, living in a tent, imagine yourself in the rain and how cold it would be. No light, just a fire to warm you up. So 12 of us kids, 9 girls and 3 boys, in a tent with my parents, all huddled up together. That's my life on Tulladunna. I'm the eldest out of all the girls, so I had to play the mother's role to the rest of my siblings. Let's make sure they get to school on time, make sure they're ready for school, make sure they got their stuff packed. But sometimes we had to go without too. So it wasn't all rosy like we got it now. Power and washing machines. On their back, my brothers used to carry the water up for my old mum and wash our clothes with their hands. So they're the lives on Tulladunna that I can remember really clearly, and how proud I am, not only being a Wenner, but also being a Murray. We are strong people. Johnny cakes are one of the main important meals for Aboriginal people, I suppose. But a lot of the ladies used to sit around the campfire, and the kids will ask them, "Mum, I'm hungry, need a feed." "Good boy, we'll go and get some flour and we'll make up Johnny cakes." So the Johnny cakes are made on an open fire. We virtually lived off Johnny cake and damper. Dripping, if you know what dripping is, it's a form of fat that's heated up in a saucepan. You just dip your damper into that. That's what we lived on. One of my favourite meals would be the old porcupine with the Johnny cake. Anybody had a go at a goanna? Nice, isn't it? I love goanna, cooked in the ground. We didn't have butter then, so we just used mainly fat that was there for us to take with what we cook with. So my old mum was the best Johnny cake cooker I know, and so I think that's why I got the job lately.
My story. We came here with the combos, or the combos came with us. There were that many people here. They were camped outside on that side of the road. We had to work. I was 10 years old, same as Helen. 10 hours a day for $10. We thought we were millionaires. There used to be a shop in town, as on the road as you cross the levee bank, called Symington's. We used to walk to town, and the first thing we'd buy was an ice cream cake in a can. We were kings. We were like those little children, but the only thing they'd done the dance this morning, the only thing different was they had their shoes on. We never had no shoes. The birds never worried us. But the ice cream cake cans, they made us fill out. We got bigger. But yeah, we had a lot of great memories here.
My connection, really, I used to catch the train from Walgett every school holidays with my mother and my brother, and we'd meet our family here, and we were welcomed here. We did the seasonal cotton chipping, and so my family's the Dixon family, and you know, our connection with the Combo family and also the Nichols family. And so I'd catch the train up, and it was quite critical and important. Again, you know what Helen said about old times and how easy it is today. Really, it's about employment of Aboriginal people, and we don't have the chipping that seasonal work. So it's getting harder and harder for our communities as Aboriginal people to you know, like, it's important that we are culturally connected and spiritually connected, but we need to take our place in community.
Yeah, my daughter. I got off the train here, and I didn't know my mother and father was down there, because I was in Sydney, going to school in Sydney, and I come home with a young baby, and I was coming here. My old uncle had his, back up there, he was living up there, and I was going to his house, but I ran into his son, and he told me that my mother and father were down there. So I walked a 2 mile down there to them, and the rest is history. Yeah, very happy times. Yeah, living down there. Yeah, it's the hardships and the struggles, you know, the wind and rain and stuff. No toilets, no water. Had to carry that, and there was an old bloke that he used to bring toilets down, and we put a tent around them, tarp around them, and that. Years later, they put the amenities up with the toilets, the showers. They put the toilets around at each campsite, taps, and the amenities had 2 tubs, washing tubs, 2 coppers, and women and men showers on either end. And that was a bit better. 1973 it was up, the year I was down there. But you know, a lot of people come and stayed, others came for the season, then they went home. They come to make money so that they kids can have a good Christmas. Yeah? And they worked every day, and half of them never drank. You know? They just come and work to have a good Christmas for the kids. Kids was there working too. Stories that I've heard, that kids from, you know, this age, out their families, you know, working for 10 hours for $1 an hour. I said, oh, it must have been strong in those days, those little kids, to be out there all day. And they'd have the billy boiling off the side of the cotton field, cooking, I don't know, cooking Johnny cakes, whatever they made, or, you know, flaps or whatever. Yeah.
I originally came from Lightning Ridge. I think I was around about 10. We'd travel all through the years, like the 1960s, coming up for the chipping, but we'd also go to Leeton. We'd follow seasonal work and pile into this little station wagon. It was weird, you know, to try and think of how you actually fit in all that there when you see the cars and what they look like today. But we were like little sardines all in, there's about 12 of us. We didn't mind, but I think working over the years has made us realise what the parents went through to give us to get us where we were. We had to go at everything, not just chipping. Mum's great uncle had the chipping contract. He mainly employed my family from Walgett, Moree, Brewarrina, Burke, Canamble itself, because he was a Canamble bloke, and us from the Ridge. Mum would do about 70 Johnny cakes. He would have a big cauldron. He made the curry for the whole camp. So that was his contribution, even though I think he took $10 a week for it. So you could do the 7 days. 6 hours in the morning, 4 in the afternoon. Went out to Walgett to work. Worked out there for 16 months. Caught the little train that used to go out, what Anne was talking about. We used to call it the Rattler, because you could climb, it had no windows really. You can hang out and sing out if you're going past someone's place and give them a wave. And after school we did our tours. We weren't allowed to go to the discos or anything like that. Because this was very racist here, you had to be very careful where you went, who you went with. And of course it's still in what I say to my kids, and as they were growing up, no walking around, this is a seasonal town, you do not know who's here. It was also in I think in the 60s and that, they used to, the fellows that had come out of jail and that, they used to give them a ticket and they'd get off the train down here to go out working. You know, they had to work, otherwise they wouldn't have no money. But they'd send them here, so you didn't know what was getting off the train. So Mum was very strict about that. No going here, no going there. As soon as the sun goes down, you're inside. And today I still do that. There used to be an old fella, he was on the council. He owned the newsagent. He used to follow the kids in the shop, and they'd be saying, you know, you'd like to browse to have a look to see if there's something in there you really want to read. Well, he wouldn't even let you do that. I don't know, Mum's had, even when you're just going to buy a pair of shoes, well, how are you going to pinch a pair of shoes? Or the prams, you never ever took your pram into the shop because you weren't allowed to. That's the first place. They just picked your kid up and lift it around and check it out to see you haven't got a packet of lollies there or...
Yeah, in 1969, my uncle and auntie travelled from Wolloomaringal. That was Fred and May Hooper, also Nellie and... Don't ask me what his name, I keep forgetting, but we call him Tudor anyway. Auntie Nell and Uncle Tudor. And Stan. And they were the first ones to come from over that way, along with Nellie's sister, Junie Shillingsworth, and her old man, Pally Moore. Old Pally and June used to live in this area, right here where we are. Over the other side of the gully was old Stan and Auntie Nellie, and on the hill down near about 500 yards that way to my right, used to be where Fred and May Hooper used to live. Just back behind us here used to be a fly tent that a few men, that was the men's home. And what used to happen when they used to get into trouble, the police used to come down here and automatically goes to the men's home. because they were laying, or they'd be the drunks. So they'd go and check them out. And they'd be asleep, so they'd be throwing clods at them because they wouldn't walk under the fly tent to get them. But now it doesn't matter. They just walk straight in your house and grab them now. But anyway, just going back, I mean, it used to be really fun down here, growing up. I came over in 1971 and lived with my aunt and uncle for a while. In the 1971 that we were here, there used to be fights all the time between Moree Boggabilla against all the Gadooga, Walgett, Bree, Burke, Ingonia, you name it, from the western area. The northwest was just to come and they used to fight anyway. But they used to fight on the sand island in the middle of the river. There was no referees, but there was always one-on-one. When that fight was finished, those people were talking. But that's how they settled their differences. Today it's mob on mob. They don't settle their differences anymore with one-on-one. They don't know how to do that. But it used to be, like I said, it was great to live down here. A lot of places you won't remember where people would have lived, because in 1974 the flood went through here. In 1976 the flood went through here again. It would have washed away a lot of the topsoil. So where things used to be ain't there no more. So you've got to imagine it like it is. Like it was, I should say.
Oh, it was full, it was clear. You could see the fish. Where we were today, the rocks, all the black rocks got washed away in the floods, through the floods. Yeah, so it was beautiful down there. And everybody went to that place. That was a meeting place. And there was clothesline where everybody washed, and the clothesline was strung up in between the tree, from tree to tree. So they all got together there, had a feed, and had a yarn. Like a big laundromat it was. Everybody went then, had a yarn and done their washing, and, you know, all had a swim and went home to their camp, cooked tea or whatever. Yeah. And the babies' nappies, because we had a 5-gallon drum where Mum used to boil the clothes, and she'd boil my babies' nappies, and they were so white hanging on the line. That's how the health sister, how we come to meet the health sister, she come down and she said, from the road we could see the snow white napkins. So that's how I met the health sister. Yeah.
Yeah, we stayed in our own camps. So you had to get permission to go to others, and check with your parents. And then if you were given that permission to go to their place, you had to be back at your place at that set time, like sundown. That was your main thing. If you weren't at home on sundown, you either missed out on a feed and put to bed, or you just got a good flogging, you know. And the flogging, they were just giving out like lollies. That's all. I still think of it, you know, like, geez, what do I do now? Whack. One play up, you all get a slap up. Yeah, it was a hard, tough life, but it's made me the person I am today, to respect hard work, the rewards that you get out of it, and how to continue living still on that level without trying to make out, oh, I want a bigger house. You don't want a bigger house when there's only you. Because you were able to go and play after you know that you've done your job, what you were supposed to do, and looking after the younger ones. Like I said, if you were sick and you had to stay home and mind the younger one, well, they also looked after you in return too. So that happened quite a bit being out there. You know. Over the years, like when the kids got a bit bigger, and about 5 or 6 of us old ladies, we'd pack up the bag and go fishing. We'd walk down. we'd actually start walking that way and then cut across. I think we did 20 k's one day just to get away from the kids. But they found us because they know in the end where we was going to be. And swimming hole, you know. Love going down there and sliding off into the clear water because you could see the bottom then, but now you can't.
If that river was full, or if the river had a lot more water in it than now, would that make you happy?
That would flow, yes. You would actually see the path running. And up around the corner, I don't know if you went around to the Wacky beach area. If you went there, we used to drive there and drive the cars down to the sand and let the little ones out when they was, little toddlers. They'd carrying them down the steep hill. We used to drive the cars and leave it and let them out. They loved it. And we still talk about all the good times. A lot of the old ladies now are too busy with the grandkids because of the change in lifestyles and everything like that, but we often go for a little run out there or, drive now. We all got these licenses,
My old dad, Arthur Murray, was a big speaker for Aboriginal people in their rights. Him and a lot of other Aboriginal blokes got running water from the river to Showers, which is down there where that tree is, running water for Aboriginal people so that we didn't have to live in heartache or hardship. So before my old dad died, he always wanted to do something with Tulladunna and never had a chance to do it. But my mum and dad were proud Aboriginal people and proud parents of their kids.
With Helen's father and my father, they really pushed to get the land council into Weevil in the 70s, then going into the 80s. But like I say, we never had none of that when we were growing up here. And to see something like this is just fantastic.
When I see, the group we've got in front of me, the children, we've got the elders, and we've got representation from across the community, it shows to me especially that this project is really well connected to its community, and we've got a community that's really well connected to its country. Also, a thing that's really hit me today is the sense of family and how important it is to this community. So we like to see this project, and we'd like to see us be involved with Weewar Lauk and also other lauks across our area to build these sorts of projects so that we can have people on country and sharing knowledge and growing.
I was out here quite a while ago when this project was first starting, and actually to see what is out here now with the buildings, the signage, I think yous have all done a wonderful job, and it's a credit to the Weewar Lands Council and Robin and the board for getting behind this project. It's very important. It's very important to keep the heritage going. It's very important to know what was around our area quite a few years ago. It's important for the children to know it, and it's important for the whole community to know. It will grow from here, and it will be very exciting to see where it ends up.
And I'm happy about today because it sort of brought the community together. Everybody has a story and they all need to tell it. And I was glad some people got up and told their story because that's most important for the kids, everybody to hear, Not only one person got a story, everyone has a story. It's important for, community, a good yarn. Keep on going, for the kids, more events, activities going for the kids, cultural acknowledgement, they're going to get that started down there, taking the kids down. Yeah. Cultural awareness. know their history, otherwise they're going to get lost. They're going to be the lost generation that know nothing about their culture if we don't start doing things now for them, you know. You know, let them know that we care and that we want to teach them. Even if they say no, hey, you sit down there, listen, this is important that you know, because we won't be here to tell you in the future, because all this culture be lost. Tulladunna brings back a lot of memories, good memories. You're just going to only hear the people now, because they're gone, they passed away and that. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of survivors though, the kids, grandkids, you know, the young people that was there early, you know, in the 70s, 60s, they got grandkids now and, you know, that heritage still lives on, you know. They have been there, you know, the knowledge of them being there, you know, the heritage still, still lives on.
What I want to say to the kids today, if you're not sure of anything, you want to know more, talk to some of the Aboriginal people who are around you about, you know, your history, your culture. Even non-Aboriginal kids, ask what culture's all about, because it's going to be an impact in your life for the rest of your life. I'm happy to share stories. Any non-Aboriginal person who want to know more about Tulladunna, I'm happy to share them. But a lot of the Aboriginal elders that are alive when I was going to school, I'm at the age of 10 here, not many of them are around anymore. And that makes me sad, because they're the people that we go back and ask questions if we don't know anything, or if we want to be directed in the right way or the right area of what we do as Aboriginal people. So I'm just saying to you young kids, if you've got questions, you want answers or anything like that, just ask, because always somebody will have the answer for you.
Every community has a sacred site. Tulladunna is ours, and everybody's welcome. You know, Indigenous, non-Indigenous, no matter who you are welcome on Tulladunna.